Good afternoon, everyone. Country Flyboy here, and today my first flight on FS Economy. So, for those of you who do not know, FS Economy is it sort of turns Flight Simulator into an MMO. You get to select flights that you want to fly and airplanes you want to fly, and yada yada yada, and you get to make money for them, and you can use that money to buy your own plane, run your own FBO, and everything is changing and is affected in the world. So, I'm doing my first flight on FS Economy, and I have not read the manual. Yeah, I know I'm stupid, but this is how I like to do things. I don't care if you think I should. It's more fun to just hop in it and see what happens. It's way more fun, and I'm here to have fun. So that's what we're going to do. I've selected a short flight, about an 86-mile flight. We're heading to the Department of Correction facility down in Florida. We're departing Brunswick Golden Isles Airfield in Brunswick, Georgia. Lovely airfield. I love to fly here in Flight Sim. I've never flown to this airport in real life, but I have passed by it, and I have been up to Brunswick Golden Isles Airfield in real life before, but I've never been to this one. This is Brunswick McKinnon, SSI. Alright, so we're going to get the aircraft loaded up. We'll be taking... Oops, wrong one. I've already set the fuel, and I'm probably going to get more fuel because it's 24 gallons. I'll have to do some calculations, but I don't like that low of a fuel load. But we'll go ahead and load our passenger. He's a county sheriff, and according to FS Economy, which I don't think Fraps is going to be able to pick up, but I'm using the FS Economy client, we need 340-pound payload for the next flight. So our payload is 340 pounds. Let's drop the pilot weight. There we go. Alright, so it's just me, and I'm taking a county sheriff over to the Department of Corrections facility. Alright, I've started the flight, and the clock is ticking, so I'm accumulating the cost of this plane since I rent it per hour. And I've calculated we should have enough fuel to get there and get back. If not, I can always just ferry it to another airport that's nearby and get some fuel. Lake City is close by, it has fuel. Alright, so let's get this thing pre-flighted. I probably should have pre-flighted before I started the flight with FS Economy, but oh well. Just make sure everything's working. Lights are on, strobes on. Beacon's probably not working because it's DirectX 10. Alrighty. All my avionics came on. Shift 7. Nope. Come on now. There we go. Remove that, and the pitot tube is good. Baggage door is locked. Alrighty. Looks good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. And remove the tie down. It's working. Look at the rollers and the push rod, all looks good. Let's see, hinges are in, push rod looks good, everything's good here. Move the tie down there. Alright, remember to get rid of the wheel chocks. Fuel supply is good. Let's see, we have 11 gallons in this tank. Just shy of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, we'll say 11 gallons on this tank. Alright, oil looks good. Fuel down here is good. Nose looks good. Nothing's in the cowling. Static port is clear. Fuel on this side, we got 12 gallons. So 11 plus 12, that is 23. So we got 23 gallons of fuel, slightly less than what the rental sheet said. Oh well, we still have enough. Wheel chocks are in place. Get rid of the tie down. Vents clear, and the other vents clear. Hinges are in place. Everything's good here. Flaps moving. Everything's good there. Alright, back in the cockpit. Alright, ditch the wheel chocks. Just turned the battery back on by accident. Alright, ditch the wheel chocks. We'll go ahead and shut the door on the passenger side. Aircraft is, as far as I can tell, it's good to go. So let's shut the door. Okay, my weather has loaded in. And according to Plan G, we should have enough fuel to make it. So plug my headset in and let's get on our way. Alrighty, so we're going to start the engine, and that's master on, beacon on, throttle, in. We'll actually give it a full throttle prime. Let's see, fuel pump on, mixture full rich, good rise on the fuel, 2, 3, out. I hope I didn't flood it, that was a bit long. Alrighty. Hold the brakes, and we're ready to start. Oh, a bit of a hard turn. Oh, I forgot to move the throttle out. Oops. Come on. Come on. Country Flyboy, you know better than this. Why are you getting in such a hurry? It's because I'm renting the damn plane. It's like in real life. Alright, avionics on. Everything's good to go. Flaps are up. Alright, real quick, we're just going to hit direct to the destination. There's no need for a flight plan. And it was Foxtrot Lima 03. Department of Corrections. Activate. Department of Corrections, 30 or 80 miles away. Yep, sounds right. Alrighty then. Let's tune CTAF and let's tune automated weather. 118.525. Look at the weather.
Kilo, Sierra, Sierra, India, automated weather observation. 1759er, Zulu. Wind 077 at 9er.
077.
0. Sky condition clear. Temperature 10 Celsius. Dew point 1 Celsius. Altimeter 3034. Kilo, Sierra, Sierra, India.
Alrighty, so we're good there. Weather has been received. Winds are coming out of 07. The hell? Thank you, okay. Alright, we're departing to the south.
Brunswick traffic, Cessna, November
Lights,
5872 Romeo, taking off
camera, action.
departure.
Wave goodbye to your family, my sheriff friend. You may never see them again. Of course, if you're like my family, you may prefer that. Alright. Heading's good. Full power. 5 knots, rotate, and we're airborne. Wow, she got headed airborne really quick. The density altitude must be low today. Alright, we'll climb out at 75 knots until we're 1,000 feet above the field. Okay, so I will get paid about $800 for this flight, but I'm also going to have to lose money on the operating fees of the plane. This is a rental, so because it's a rental, okay, we're 500 feet, we can turn onto the crosswind leg. Because it's a rental, we want to be careful with it. We don't want to break it, right? Right. I know if I was renting my plane out and some guy who was renting it broke it, I'd be pissed. Alright, crosswind, there's 1,000 feet above the field, we can turn downwind. And we'll depart on the downwind heading. Alright, just keep climbing. Alright, we can climb at 80 knots now. 80 knots is a good climb speed in this airplane. Alright, we're coming up on 2,000 feet above the field. Once we're 2,000 feet above the field, I'll head on course, which is practically just straight out anyway. Alrighty, we're 2,000 feet above the field now. I'm going to tune Jacksonville Center and get flight following down to our destination.
Jacksonville Center, Cessna November 5872 Romeo, type Cessna Skyhawk 2 miles west of Brunswick 2100. Request flight following. Cessna November 5872 Romeo, Jacksonville Center, squawk 7337. Squawk 7337, Cessna 72 Romeo. Cessna 72 Romeo, radar contact 2 miles southwest of Brunswick 2500, altimeter 3034. Copy. Cessna 72 Romeo.
Alright, they have us on the radar. It's really hazy today. Really hazy today. So, definitely going to want that flight following. I mean, it's still VFR. We can still fly VFR. It doesn't look, the clouds look pretty high. It's just hazy. Be going up 3,000. Actually, let's make it 4,500. We'll get better performance up there. Alright, so let's lean the mixture out for the climb. We can turn the landing lights off now. Alright, so once again, I'm going to be doing a full review of FS Economy on my channel later, probably next week or the week after. I'm going to shoot to have it out within 2 weeks, but anything can happen. I'm going to review it as soon as I get more hours under my belt to make sure I get to show everything I can. If you're wondering why we offset from the GPS course, it's because I looked at Plan G and I found if I fly radial 220 outbound from the Brunswick VOR, it'll take me right to the airfield. And since this airplane can't track the GPS course, it can track a VOR though, so that's what I'm doing. I got the autopilot on right now and I'm just monitoring the instruments. Running lean of peak with a 2400. I'm going to back that down to 2300. So I'm trying to stretch the fuel. And according to the airplane thing, I have a 2 hour, 40 minute endurance on this fuel. So I should have enough fuel to get back to SSI because I'm going to have to ferry the airplane back. I'll look for there any jobs at Foxtrot Lima 03. Alright, it's 10 minutes. Let's switch over to the right tank. Get a look at our fuel gauges real quick. Alright, see that evened them out pretty much. Alright, so they got about, let's see, we have 10 gallons in both tanks. So 20 gallons total right now. 20 gallons at our current fuel flow of 8 gallons per hour. So if I set 8 gallons per hour in my E6B, we have 10 gallons. It's about 75 minutes of flying, which he has about an hour and a half, so a little under an hour and a half. Alright, traffic, 39 Romeo, 6 miles off the nose. He's below us, shouldn't be a factor. Other traffic behind him, 36 north, looks like he's at our altitude, 5 miles out. Shouldn't be a factor. Hopefully, we'll keep our eye on him.
123.8 for Cessna 72 Romeo.
Switch over to Plan G real quick. He's at 3,700. And he's heading to St. Augustine. He's going to be turning towards us here in a minute.
4 miles at 4,500. Cessna Skyhawk, report them in sight. Southwest 440. Turn left, heading 165. Jacksonville approach. Cessna November 5872 Romeo with you, 4,500. Cessna November 5872 Romeo, Jacksonville approach. Roger. Altimeter 3033.
Alright, so we're 10 minutes out. We need to be 6 minutes out before we start our descent, but now 22 miles out, we need to start looking out there for the field. Now, if I look over at Plan G, the field's quite literally out in the middle of nowhere, but there's an intersection of two state roads prior to the field, so we're going to look at, and I think we're flying over one of them now. Yes. So we are flying right past McKinney. Not McKinney, but McClinney. Right now, there's I-10. Now this state road here heads to the facility. It will intersect with another state road, and that will be our cue. The field is nearby. Also, if I look at the DME from the SSI VOR, QDM range and bearing, the field is 80 nautical miles off of the SSI VOR. So if I look at my DME, 80 miles, we're in the area. You should be able to see it before then. I've looked at the FSE assignments page, and there is another assignment to take this same county sheriff back to SSI in a few hours. So what I'm going to do is, when I land, I'm going to offload the sheriff, take back off, head over to Lake City, refuel the plane, get something to eat, then come back to... no, I did not. What'd you say? And then head back to...
I didn't copy that. Say again, please. Cessna 72 Romeo. Contact Jacksonville's approach.
Back to SSI with him.
Citation 1 Kilo November. Airport is 12 miles. At your 10 o'clock. Turn left heading 360. Port runway in sight. Citation 5 Tango 2. Turn left.
Now, you noticed earlier this airfield does not have any radio frequencies.
Cessna Caravan. Report them in sight.
So what I gotta do is, since St. Augustine, Lake City is close by. What is Lake City's identifier? LCQ. Okay, I got it backwards. KLCQ. Lake City. I'll tune Lake City. They have an AWOS, so I'll tune them 120.68.
Contact Jacksonville's approach on 118.175.
Now, Lake City is about...
Cessna 51 November. Contact Jacksonville approach on 118.
about 16 miles north of the destination airfield.
Charlie, Quebec. Automated weather observation. 184. Visibility. November 9251 November. Clear. Below 1203032. Temperature 11 Celsius.
Look for the altimeter. Alright, altimeter is the same. Alright, so Lake City is 16 miles north of this destination airfield, so it's close enough we can use its altimeter setting. And the weather today, the pressure has been pretty much the same. I haven't changed the altimeter very much, so we shouldn't have to worry about too much of an altitude difference. Alright, according to Plan G, if I look, the field is on the other side of a small pond, a small lake, probably that right there. Once I have the field in sight, I'll cancel flight following with Jack's approach. Alright, I've canceled my flight following with Jack's approach. I see the field. We're going to fly over it at 2,100, which is 1,000 feet above airfield elevation, or 2,000 feet above airfield elevation, 1,000 above the traffic pattern altitude. So approach checks, fuel selector both, altimeter set, radio set, audio panel set, approach briefing not required, missed approach not required, autopilot is off, HSI to compass one last time, checked, FMS GPS not required, landing light is on, approach checklist complete. Okay, so I'm going to note some obstacles around the field. We have the tower, a radio tower there. Shouldn't be a problem, but looks like we're going to definitely want to keep to the left off of that. So looks like the traffic pattern at this airport goes both ways. Alrighty, so we're going to fly over the field and look for a windsock. Nice little lake here. So that's what we're doing. We're going to look for a windsock. We may be getting charged for this, but you still want to do it correctly. I'll announce my position.
Foxtrot, Lima 03, traffic Cessna November 5872 Romeo is 3 miles southwest 1,500, inbound to land. Runway 36.
Alrighty. So we'll continue our descent down to traffic pattern altitude. If you're wondering why I didn't just head straight into the downwind from there, it's because for one, I was too high. Number two, it's illegal. You need to enter the traffic pattern altitude the standard way at non-towered airfields. That way all the other planes knows what you're doing. So technically you should not be entering the base leg or entering on final. You need to go do the downwind, then base, then final. The standard entry method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly till I'm about a beam where the runway numbers are for the other runway. Level off at 1,100. Alright, now I'm going to turn towards the airfield. And I'm going to aim the plane at the midfield point of the runway, which is the midway up the runway, and enter the downwind leg 45 degrees off of the heading. And that is the standard entry for a traffic pattern. Enter downwind, 45 degrees off the downwind heading. So I'll aim right for the midfield. This is about a 45 degree entry. A little bit more, actually. Alright, I get my position again. I'm looking around. I don't see any airplanes operating here.
17 Foxtrot Lima, traffic Cessna November 589er Victor Golf is 6 miles south.
Alright, so shouldn't have an issue. No plane. See, the one reason we want to do this is because you can see the whole pattern for both runways as you come in, and you can see if there's any airplanes. And I saw there wasn't. Alright, so now we're going to turn downwind. I'm going to announce I am on downwind.
Foxtrot Lima 03, traffic Cessna November 5872 Romeo is on downwind, runway 36.
And I would be doing this in real life too if I actually had a passenger with me, because it's a good idea to walk your passengers through what you're doing. That way they get engaged with the flight and they don't feel like a burden. And they learn something, which is always nice. Okay, we're beam the landing point on the runway. I'm going to bring throttle back to 1500 RPM. Let nose drop a bit. Flaps 10. Alright, there's 700 feet above the field. We can turn base. Announce we are turning base.
Foxtrot Lima 03, traffic Cessna November 5872 Romeo is on base, runway 36.
Next notch of flaps. And we'll turn final. Announce we're on final.
Foxtrot Lima 03, traffic Cessna November 5872 Romeo is on final, runway 36 to land.
Alrighty.
17 Foxtrot Lima, traffic Cessna November 5872.
We're going to have a slight crosswind from the right.
Visual, runway 36.
Nice long runway, so we shouldn't have anything to worry about. Wide runway too.
01 Juliet, traffic.
Alright, field's made. Flaps full.
November is 5 miles south, inbound visual, runway 36.
A nice safety area too, so we ain't even got to do short field ops. No obstacles to worry about. Alright, get our crosswind correction in. Whoop. Ballooned a bit there. Not my best landing. Alrighty, we'll just... we'll taxi. There was that building over there. It's an autogen house, but we'll call it an airfield building. Alright. Flaps are up. Landing strobe lights off. We'll lean the mixture out for ground ups. Give it some gas so we don't come to a stop. We came to a stop. Alright, full back pressure. Transponder, just set that to on. Announce we are clear of the runway.
03, traffic Cessna November 5872 Romeo is clear of the runway.
And we'll taxi over there to that little house. I'm calling it it's an autogen house, but I'm going to say it's an airfield building. Taxiing a little too fast. I'll give it some brakes. Alrighty. Bring the aircraft to a stop right here. Just let it coast to a stop on the ground.
November 431
Good flight with FSE. Alrighty, so hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going to do another 2 more flights today where I ferry the plane to Lake City, fill it up, get something to eat, come back here, pick up the sheriff, and go back to Brunswick. And that will be my first 3 flights with FSE, so, well, probably 2. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to my full review of FSE once I get some more time with it, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.